humid by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Down, 180. Right there, 54 miles. Check safety.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Me and you all day, right now. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Slam.
They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Carr now on first down. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now a run with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch the boot.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And an alley to run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's a 1st down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Cook running right. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Express. 93.
Now Carr. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
1st down, Raiders.
Now. 180. Hey, we're good. White Monday. 180.
Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
54.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. Now this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run here with Pumphrey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
First down, Raiders.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're scoreless after one.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the run, it's Pumphrey. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
26-yard line.
Now, 180. Right there, 54 Mike. Who's right team?
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no move to pull Carr and the offense off. They're going to go on 4th down.
Express. 29. Hey, I-7. Go team. Alert 3. White.
Carr going to go on 4th down. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing to analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance.
Kill. Check.
They run with Pumphrey. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he is is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. A second down throw for Cousins. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 34-yard line.
54, right there, 54 Mike.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr, and his pass incomplete. The intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll go for it. It's Carr. He's going to air one out. It's caught at the 10. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
At the 10-yard line.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
Hey, wahoo!
Shotgun now for Carr. This complete to Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run. Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're starting to put some space here. You know, the first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
54, right? 54 miles. Here I come. Hey, 1-7, 1-7. Check, Mike.
To throw, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To try again after the sack. Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Right there.
Operating from the gun. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, tight. Hey, can't. Mike 54.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Let's go. 54 is Mike. Shake. Zoo. 54. Watch the run. They're running it.
3rd and long for Cousins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it...
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Comes to me, it's me. 54 is Mike. 54. 54. Hey, Team 6.
Throwing now is Carr. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Express. Check Mike 54. Mike, hey, echo. Watch the slant. Mike 54.
From the gun, Carr looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And here's where I'm perfectly happy to defer to my analyst and let him analyze this one.
I don't get it.
That's the analysis?
That's the analysis. I don't get it. I mean, you're on the other side of midfield. Maybe. But a fake punt way down here, you want analysis? Ridiculous.
So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A huge play there on the screen pass. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
Cook. And an alley to run. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead.
That's what I do.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Let's 50.
They'll try and run it here. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Looking to throw on second down. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it.
93.
They do go for it. It's Carr. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Check 56. Crunch time, defense.
On 1st down, Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Hey, check. Double time. 4 down.
They run it again with Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go, here we go. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Where's the hot?
Cousins. For the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Carr. It's caught. Jones. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down, Raiders.
Carr now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Now, 180, express. Mike 54. All day, every day, any day. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Kill. I'm coming for Go. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. 2nd year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, yeah, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. So now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You got nothing. Express. You got nothing.
Hey, exit. Check Mike 54. Mike.
Operating from the gun. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Carr. He's got it to Williams. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. 1 on 1. Tackles.
Hey, Charlie.
54, right there. 54, Mike. We got to get it.
On first down, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Again, it's Pumphrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on first. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
6:37.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Caught by Jones. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Let's go, defense.
Now Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8.
93. Hey, Haywood.
Mike 54. Check pass. Mike 54.
Operating from the gun. Carr. That is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run this. It's Pumphrey. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from a yard out. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. He's got the hat trick. 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hey, receiver.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Come on. You better bring it home.
Cousins to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vontaze Burfict picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Now, fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Now left side on the swing pass. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Recon, 152 fighter. Express. Hey, Raider 2. Hey, Delta.
On 3rd down, Carr. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. On the ground, it's Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, But my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Not today, you
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth.
Let's get it.
A 24-yard attempt.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
29. 29. Hey, orbit.
Now Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
54, right there. 54 Mike. Oh, here we go.
To throw his Carr. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sherrill's on the return. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Mike 54. Mike. Hey, wahoo. I don't think you got it, son. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm curling. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Hey, Steamer. Right there. 54.
Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Mike 54. Mike 54. No chance.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was just saying, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts.
Situation. Let's go. 49, check 49, check 49. Shoot.
Check 24, check 24. Check, crunch.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8
How's
ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a 3rd would win it. And Bailey missed it. No good. Wide to the right. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely
down. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check it out, read. Hey, watch it. Check 43.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
From the 44, Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Check three.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider 1st.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Down. You ready?
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. 65. Switch. Out. Whip.
Heavy.
Watch the whip.
Express.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Express.
Hey, Team 6.
Mike 5-4. I'm going.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Hey, echo.
There's a corner now.
6-18.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54. Mike.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. The 20. And he finds a man on a crossing route. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it.
180. Hey, we're good. You ready?
Let's go. You tighten up. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Express.
Switch it.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Bravo.
54. Mike 54.
Carr going to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Everson Griffin has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something. Give me something. Here we go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Raiders, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.